Greetings, viewers! Night here, bringing you the commentary I've been dreading since it's on Star Giant Productions. If you don't know who she is, she's a YouTuber for 2 years in a row now, has made 2-hour-long rants on Lily Orchard. The first two have been covered by Joni Rue and the 90% respectively, and I'll be covering her third and, supposedly, final rant. This is the first video where I had to install YouTube extensions due to it being 2 hours long. Now, making a video on a subject that goes over an hour isn't a problem in itself. I've quite enjoyed videos that have done so, and watched the responses that Essence of Thought and Grandpa's Glasses did on Lily, and those were an hour long. The difference is those two actually refuted what Lily had said, where Star Giant tends to go on long, unrelated tangents, or strawmans everything that he says in the video that Star Giant will be responding to. That being Lily's glass of water discourse, which is 20 minutes long. I'm very likely going to be skipping and speeding through a lot for the sake of everyone's sanity. Before I begin, no, I'm not doing this because I'm a fan of Lily as a person or a content creator. I've done quite a few videos on her myself. I'm doing this because despite Lily being an arguably easy target, Star Giant lets her biases get the better of her, resulting in this mess of a rant. Also, I'm going to skip the first 15 plus minutes of her video, since she just rambles about the Brony community, her favorite and least favorite episodes of MLP Fim, and her experiences at the last BronyCon. Honestly, all this stuff should have been its own video, and it's only tangentially related to Lily, since Lily is also a Brony, although I'm not sure how true that is anymore. It's honestly insane how padded out this thing is before we actually get to Lily's video.
Off to hang myself, off and left!
Say it again, Louie.
Friendship is Magic finally ended last year. Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Ah, boy, here we go.
Oh, I see. Alright, I was gonna reserve this line from Louie for later, but there's no way that I can critique this video without bringing up this bludgeon now. And one of Louie's glass of water is called 70x7, which was the first time that I actually ever talked Louie on anything since as early as 2017. Louie said this line here.
The point of today's video is that I'm a professional, and that I'm right about Starlight, and you're not because fuck you. Now give me money.
And that line is more or less gonna be juxtaposed throughout this whole video. You see, quote-unquote professionals don't steal quotes verbatim.
So, at the 19th minute mark, you play a clip from Enter. That is a quote from T.S. Eliot, and I have an issue with this. Your clip from Zero Punctuation is a far better example of Lily's plagiarism than just rambling on about how Lily steals jokes for 3 whole minutes. You could have just called it out at the start of her skit with Billy. Granted, not sure how good of an editor you are, so it might have been difficult for you to do a split scene for the Zero Punctuation skit and Lily ripping it off.
You're saying that Friendship is Magic, the show, and on a whimper, this show.
Yeah, nice cherry picking. Where Discord tricks the villains into releasing your waifu there. No, what I think she means is that she felt that the very last episode of Gen 4 was underwhelming. You know how the whole conflict was a flashback of Twilight feeling angsty because she had to leave Ponyville for Camelot due to effectively being the ruler of Equestria. Granted, I considered that episode a decent send-off, but I also understand why people wouldn't care for it. And I mean reasons other than their headcanons not being validated.
I think after watching that, I don't think Friendship is Magic ended with a whimper. I mean, if you want me to point you to a show that did end with a whimper, Fairy Odd Parents comes to mind. Where the final episode of that show has Mr. Turner being a dumbass and is with Chloe Mary and toy vegetables.
She doesn't sound like that!
Yes, I do! Get back here, Timmy, and put on your flower girl dress. We're having another wedding!
Like, what the hell do I even say to that?
No words, seriously?
Yep, pretty much, Jorgen. You took the words right out of my mouth. That, in my eyes, is a show ending on a whimper.
And all this boils down to, your onion is stinky, but mine smells good. Lovely.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
After 10 years of watching what was once a cute, fun, easygoing cartoon about tiny horse puppies being friends, turned into a pit of wasted world building and gloomy melodrama, I find myself ruminating on My Little Pony's slide down into the spiked pit of edgy man-children fantasy adventure show. These are my clustered thoughts on that, and animation as a whole this last decade.
I'm going to say that I'm sorry just this once for the fact that we are over 20 minutes into my video already being longer than Louis' actual view that I'm critiquing.
Apology not accepted.
Even Steve could have won with those cards. And all he can say is hey-o. Shut the f*** up, Steve!
Okay, let's pretend that Louis was right of the show turned into gloomy melodrama, or rather being sad. Why is that exactly a problem? I'm going to ask this question here only once. What is wrong with the show changing genres? Now, if you tell me it fucked up changing its genres, that's one thing. But I'm talking about the concept of changing genres, because I literally do not understand the problem.
Lily stated multiple times that to her it felt like the earlier seasons of MLP were similar to a sitcom, and she's going to dislike it for how it felt like it shifted tone to action and adventure. Clearly, Lily didn't like how the show changed in her eyes.
You can give me any explanation you want, but the problem that I myself do not understand. But I do somehow get the logic. Hi, Louis Pix Unleashed, edgy for the sake of being edgy, great change. But that's like the main example when it comes to this argument. Frontier's magic was slice of life in the pre-Starlight Limit era to more high fantasy warp like Avatar in the post-Starlight Limit era. And for those that haven't seen the first two Rants or any of my previous videos, pre-Starlight Limit era represents seasons 1 through 4 or 2010 through 2014 before Starlight came to town. Post-Starlight Limit era represents seasons 5 through 9 or 2015 through 2019, because not only was she in the show then, but the show hugely changed its tone and pace.
Yes, and Lily clearly disliked the shift in tone and pacing. Why does this escape you?
Let's learn how to tie a noose. It's easy if you're not obtuse. All you need is a piece of rope and abandon all your hope.
Shows bloated by pretentious waffling, hyperfixations on world building, a desperation to be the next Avatar that became so cloying that even Avatar's own creators tried to get in on it and failed, and a conga line of persistently bad tropes that writers refuse to let go of, even as they prove time and time again to actually kill their own shows, but pressing on anyway because the few dozen man-children still slavishly devoted to it were applauding the systemic suicide of everything they claim to be fans of. It wasn't a silver age, it was a dork age.
See what I mean by how much Louis makes me want to talk just for each sentence? And this is even ignoring the politics and all this. And we'll also fucking get to politics later down the road in this video. What is wrong with being the next Avatar? Now, if you said trying to be the next Avatar and failing, that will give you a leg to stand on, Louis.
And I believe that's what Lily meant. It's why she feels the 2011 reboot of Thundercats was trash, although there are other reasons.
If you've been in the Brony fandom for more than a year, you're probably familiar with and sick of this phrase, world building.
Yes, I'm probably gonna do this probably 5 times throughout the whole video. But hey, it's way better than Louis Panda's joke of this is just a side note, but I hate how the music is not exactly sinister, but more like horror in that what you're watching is supposed to be scary and disturbing and wrong and just awful, which it's not. And no, I don't mean my music. I just play my music because I like hearing my music more than Louis' music. Sick of? I have never been sick of world building, and that seems to be the problem with Louis I knows. There are a lot of problems with Louis, so get used to that line that I just said. Now, if Louis was only projecting to her audience, that would be passable. But here's the rub, she's not, because she directly states in the Brony fandom for more than a year, so she's talking to people like me who have been part of the Brony fandom for 8 years now.
Except in her most recent MLP video at the time of scripting this, she says she's been cultivating her own fandom for years, and she's steadily drifted away from MLP.
Am I dead yet?
World building is the great big clumping foot of nerdism, the compulsion among some to exhaustively survey a place that isn't there.
Ah, slippery slope, and we'll be mentioning this multiple times in this video alone. So, if I were to put lore into my show, I would fall into a slippery slope of being a fucking creep.
Lily never said that. She says she feels that people that want world building, particularly in MLP, are looking for a depth where there is none. Madam, please. I doubt force feeding is Lily's fetish.
In fact, there were canceled episodes planned like an episode exploring Zekora's homeland. Interesting because we got to see what life of the Griffins were like because we had no idea what they wore prior. Saying what change was in to change a changeling.
Honestly, that's possibly the worst example you could have used. The show says there were changelings in Thorax's swarm or hive, whichever it is, that were holding on to Chrysalis's ideology, only for all of them, aside from Pharynx, to be converted when we see the new changeling colony. Do not bring up something that sounds like it could be an interesting story idea, but then fail to follow through with it.
I always thought that not every changeling became good after touring back again. And lo and behold, I was right, because I didn't always think that every changeling would be good after Starlight's help. And then we had Pharynx, who was awesome.
Never mind, the episode contradicts the moral. You don't have to be like everyone else. Only to have Pharynx transform like the other changelings, because reasons, I guess.
There yet? No. Over there yet? No.
Bronies kept trying to twist and mutate it into being an adventure show about Equestria. Not about its main cast of characters learning to not be jerks, but about the map and filling in more and more of it.
This is another problem with Louie and her world building complaints. Louie keeps saying that world building is bad, but doesn't bother explain to me why it's bad. In her past, she says that world building is like the cinnamon challenge. Eat a spoonful of cinnamon and it's too much. Sprinkle it lightly. But that's not true here. Seriously, Louie, I have these criticisms for you since 2017. It's 3 years later. Why the hell am I still complaining about the same topics?
It started with demanding new villains when the tradition was premieres and finales. Hell, season 1 didn't even have a finale villain, and instead it was all about the girls learning that royal parties suck.
And that's actually why the season 1 finale is the worst finale of the whole series.
The season 1 finale is bad, but the series finale is good, even though it isn't really the series finale, because my opinion trumps yours.
There was this constant push and pull between the show's functioning and workable formula as a slice-of-life sitcom about simple interpersonal relationship issues and the kind of deep lore adventure saga that the adult fanbase wanted it to be.
Still on the slippery slope, huh? This is more or less a repeated criticism, but it bothers me that you think you know what you want the show to be. I've noticed in past Louie Tumblr posts where she has stated that kids hated the episode Famous Fortune, so that constitutes automatically being bad. This is not how criticism works.
And if we're to read the rest of this post, Lily says she's always felt the fanbase shouldn't be pandered to, and the show should focus on its child audience first and foremost. Now, I don't agree with everything Lily says here, but I can understand why she's being more cynical and jaded towards the show and fandom as the years have gone by.
Aside from the fact that changing directions like that mid-series is a huge alienation risk, it also didn't suit the show's established goal.
Goal? Alright, what do you think the show's goal was, Lily?
Maybe to teach kids not to be jerks, acceptance, tolerance, and appreciation while not talking down to them despite this being a kid's show. But hey, I'm just listening to what Lily is saying here.
Considering that Friendship is Magic was even supposed to get a second season. Well, if you ask me, it was to tell a good story. That's my idea of a good goal. And the season 3 finale was going to be the series finale originally, but both times to avoid cancellation because Bronies brought in the profits. You gotta love Bronies for those merchandise profits.
Wouldn't that validate Lily's claim that Hasbro and DHX were pandering to Bronies though?
We're going there? So you think that Twilight is spreading friendship like a Jehovah's Witness, and you think she wants to spread faster than the Chinese government did with the COVID-19 coronavirus? Okay. I mean, she wants to bring friendship to others, but this isn't a religion. It's not a belief. It's a real-life thing. And what's wrong with spreading friendship? Especially in the show called Friendship is Fucking Magic!
Before, friendship was magic because strength in numbers always works better than doing everything yourself. That was the lesson that Twilight had to learn in the first episode. Now it was something you had to put your faith in, like the Force.
Faith doesn't quite compute because, once again, that's a belief and not an actual thing.
Nope, shut up. What Lily is saying here makes sense. Since, as the series went on, friendship has been treated as a tangible thing, it was even made fun of in Rainbow Rocks. This is particularly true in the spell Stars Will the Bearded never finished, because he never understood the power of friendship.
So either Friendship is Magic is a show that needs to break the status quo more often, or it's a show that does it too much. It can only be one or the other, Louie, and you just made a contradiction with your own criticisms. See, despite my reputation, I don't like going out of my way saying you're wrong to other people's faces. It's rude to do that.
Your previous rant on this one beg to differ.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck.
2. Brony behavior indicates that the themes of the show went completely over their head, probably because they were too busy mapping out the world and busting it out over background characters and also children.
Remember how I said a couple of minutes ago how I hate to disagree on certain matters with Louie? Because this is another one of those moments. I agree with Louie that pedophiles are all terrible people, and if you disagree, you don't belong on this channel watching this video. You belong in prison getting coronavirus like what happened to Harvey Weinstein. You should be a sex offender that should not see the light of day. Hi, Toon Critic. But this is going to be one of my more controversial moments, because while I agree with Lily, I disagree with her at the same time on the pedophile stuff. Not defending pedos, and I never will, but context with Bronies. Let's get this out of the way. She thinks that all Bronies, especially Starlight fans, are predators that want to go after little girls.
Oh no. Don't you dare. If you do what I think you're going to do, I will legit scream.
I mean, anyone remember this video from her that I critiqued in the previous Louie rant?
Draco really likes Starlight. Creepily so.
Okay, incoming tangent related to Star Giant's previous rant on Lily. Lily did a video on a guy named Draco Knight Blaze and pointed out how he's a fan of Starlight Glimmer, but also did a lot of crap in servers that caused Lily to call him a creep. Star Giant took bits of that video and strawmanned it so that Lily was calling Draco a pedophile simply because he likes Starlight Glimmer. That wasn't the only reason, you moron. Lily called Draco a pedophile because he did things that made people uncomfortable, like hitting on minors even after he was told to stop. There's also the fact that when Draco was on FNGR's Bad Idea podcast at 7:09, he admitted to sending sexual material to a child and tries to excuse it by saying, "She told me she'd be okay with it." Sorry for diverting, but considering Star Giant thought it would be great to go back to that subject, I really just couldn't let it be. Pissed me off last year, still pisses me off now.
I mean, if you just said pedophiles are bad people and just leave it at that, I would 100% agree with you because it is a crime. But associating it with bronies when more than 99% of bronies are not pedophiles makes your claim seem less worthy of taken seriously. And bronies don't support predators. We didn't support Toon despite what you say on Wolf and Silver. But you're just gonna tune me out on that section.
Allow me to introduce you to Sunburn LP, a brony who unironically calls Toon Critic his husbando despite knowing what he did, and says he doesn't care if kids get groomed because not my problem. There's also Massacre Molly, one of the various people who made videos about Toon Critic after he got outed, only to this year been exposed for talking to Toon Critic again behind everyone's backs, and ran off to join him and his boyfriend Isaac when she began to get backlash for that. And thirdly, this is Lucia Dragondew, the roleplay partner of Caring Rarity, which is the map alt account of Critical Thought. She does not care that Caring Rarity has expressed interest in minors. Whether or not you want to believe it, Star Giant, there are people in the Brony community that still support pedophiles for whatever reason.
Speaking of tuning out, did you know that Louie does hate my guts? So apparently I'm a fucking weirdo to Louie now. Also, that second guy who ran it on the second rant can't seem to spell. And yet, you accept that, Lily. I'm sorry, but I believe that when someone is a professional, then they should expect all criticisms, both receiving and sending, to be spelled correctly.
Except your idea of what constituted as criticism was mainly trying to make Lily bend to your will, or are you just calling her cunty orchard who knows how many times? Why would she listen to someone like that? Plus, not all criticism is valid.
Yes, apparently out of the two characters already set up as antagonists for such a grand act of villainy, the writers opted to make an actual literal child perform such a horrendous act instead. Why they chose Cozy Glow for this, I will never understand, but the act of them finally breaking the cycle of constant and instantaneous redemption by putting a literal child in hell is a level of failure that's almost funny. Like, adults who try to take over the world, destroy the kingdom, kill a bunch of people, and join a fascist cult can totally be forgiven, but a fucking child is going to burn in hell. But she didn't show remorse while the others did. Bitch, that doesn't answer the question of why they chose Cozy Glow instead of Chrysalis. Oh, and the alt-right pony from the season premiere got redeemed, so they couldn't even stick to no villain redemptions. This is the kind of story you write when you want to tell the people criticizing you to go fuck themselves. The whole episode is made of spite. As I've said for years, Hasbro is proud of their villains in recent seasons, and they don't like it when it isn't received well.
I mean, isn't Cozy Glow in and of herself, based off of Darla Dimple from Cats Don't Dance, a villain? But nope, right there is what I meant by saying that Louie thinks that children can't be evil.
No, she's saying out of the two. Chancellor Naysay was more set up as an antagonist than Cozy, what with his xenophobic attitude towards non-ponies. But hey, I can argue with Lee on this too. Cozy conspired with Tyrek to drain all the magic out of Equestria, and trap the main six in Tartarus with him, so she would be the only one with power. All Naysay did was take over a school, and try to run it his way, with ponies being the only students allowed attendance. Considering all that, I'd say Cozy's a more serious offender.
Right now.
Compare and contrast to, well, the later seasons in general, where violent and hostile people are given dozens of second chances and abusive friends like Starlight continue to be allowed within the group.
Who said you could do that? No, Pony, I just did it.
That's the first indicator of a serial killer, you freak.
Alright, let's talk about Road to Friendship, since no one else fucking does. I'm just gonna say it, I love this episode. And I don't have any real issue with Star in this episode. And we're gonna go in depth right now with why. You see, Road to Friendship is often criticized for this one minute where Starlight trades Trixie Wagon away, as you just saw in that clip. The truth is, that is the worst moment of Starlight Clipper throughout the whole show. I need to state the moment part because the episode as a whole is not her at her worst. That would actually be a horseshoe in, but I'm not talking about that episode in this video. In the episode, Trixie allows Starlight to go on tour with her to Saudi Arabia, but Trixie makes it hell for Starlight. Also, if you literally watch any episode with Starlight and Trixie prior to this, Trixie was never a saint to Starlight. 95% of the time she was the asshole, and only 5% of the time Starlight was. But yeah, I still love these two together, giving a Panty and Stocking kind of vibe. Usually because whenever someone made a mistake, they made up for it and apologized. When people travel together and things don't go their way, they get into pitiful tirades, and Starlight and Trixie are both at their throats. And when it came to the wagon, Starlight wasn't thinking straight. It'd be worse if she was, but it's pretty clear in this episode that she wasn't. She wasn't in her normal right mind. People don't think clearly in bad times. I mean, have you seen the fucking world right now with COVID-19?
Okay, so I didn't address this before, and I've been attempting to avoid it wherever possible, but Star Giant keeps bringing up COVID-19 whenever she can, whether it equates to what Lily is saying or not, and it's really fucking aggravating. I get it, we're in a pandemic and people are getting sick and dying, but there is no fucking need to shoehorn it into a video responding to a video about MLP. It is wildly inappropriate. Also, I don't care if Starlight was in her right mind. She still traded away Trixie's wagon, you know, her main means of transportation, and her home for something frivolous. It would be like me selling a friend's apartment. Plus, Trixie had already told the guy who wanted her wagon no. But Starlight, who had no claim to the wagon, just gave it away when Trixie wasn't around, despite knowing how important the wagon was to Trixie. I don't care if Trixie wasn't an angel. What Starlight did was still a mark of her doing something without thinking how it would affect someone who was supposed to be her best friend. Okay, stopping here. It's just more the same and I really don't care to argue the rest of the video. Star Giant, I genuinely don't think any of your rants on Lily have been good. They all have relatively the same issues, and while this one may not have the same amount of spite the previous two did, that doesn't mean it was better than either of them. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Lily. Not by a fucking mile. I'm in the majority that feels she's only gotten worse as time's gone on. But among the many responses I've seen done on her, yours aren't just chores to sit through. They're also regarded as the worst in the circles I'm part of. I do hope this is the last rant you do on Lily, or really the last time you talk about Lily ever, because they have all been an unpleasant experience. With all that said, this is Night saying thanks for watching, and please share your thoughts with me.